Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to Rookie Review. This week's spoiler-free movie review is Sicario 2 Soldado. Though I am an incredibly big fan of Benicio del Toro, he's without doubt one of my all-time favourite actors. I did wonder whether this sequel being greenlit purely off the back of the original movie's success, though moderate, back in 2015, and people's positive response to del Toro's dark and brooding character Alejandro was enough of a reason for a sequel to be made. Regardless, at least Emily Blunt's irritating Kate Mesa from the first movie doesn't pop up to tarnish this movie, because let's face it, there was a reason her character didn't return for the sequel. This movie's plot, as well as a great deal of its runtime, is spent on the American-Mexican border and is concerned with human trafficking and the US government manipulating terrorism in order to start an internal cartel war. Considering how touchy a subject terrorism and immigration into the USA, particularly illegal immigration of Mexican citizens, is in 2018, it's a bold move to focus your summer blockbuster thriller on these very real-world issues. This movie isn't populated with heroes and villains, but a world full of grey, as everyone just seems to be doing anything to survive in this almost primeval world of death and murder. From Josh Brolin's unflinching Mac Raver, an alpha male who will do anything to win, even if it means crossing the line in brutal and dirty ways, to the arrogant, petulant and callous victim of the movie, Isabel Reyes. My god, 2018 has really been the year of Brolin, and very much like his portrayal of Thanos in Infinity War, Brolin's character brings out the question from the audience of how far is too far. And much like the infamous line in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, does this movie show a world full of people who have lived too long and have become villains? Or are they just willing to use any tactics and means necessary for the greater good? But kudos to Brolin, who in 2018 has played a diverse range of characters in a diverse range of high-profile movies, and in some instances, even doing it in Crocs. What a man. From the outside looking in, the two Sicario movies can just look like a vehicle for an older male actor to play the badass. But this is not del Toro's version of Taken. Though Alejandro is described as a rabid dog out for revenge, del Toro gives his character and his subtle actions a tremendous amount of somber gravitas and understandable purpose. Though I'm not sure of the character growth in this movie, as it seems to go against the very core of the character from the previous movie, and giving a character more moral conflicts doesn't mean natural evolution or progression if it conflicts with what came before. Alejandro is not the only character whose motives and actions don't make sense. The same can be said for Isabel Reyes, members of the cartel, and the other young standout, Miguel Hernandez, played by Elijah Rodriguez, who does such a good job with his role that you just want to punch him square in the face. The movie does succeed in accurately representing how tense and dangerous it is for people trying to cross the border, and how easy it is for young, impressionable people to get caught up in the world of serious crime. I respect that this is a movie that doesn't shy away from the harsher aspects of the world it has delved into, from forceful interrogations to suicide bombings. Sicario 2 points a flashlight at the failings of humanity and doesn't break from its focus. And though I do love a well-directed dramatic thriller, it's just too intensely bleak. There's no let-up, no moment of levity or breakaway from this dire world of cartels, people smuggling, and shady government operations. And though I appreciate this is a life many people live and are forced to interact with on a daily basis, this is a movie, a work of fiction, not a documentary. The action set pieces could have been the moments that gave this movie a bit of spice and brought a level of entertainment and a break from this underworld full of death, which does begin to take its toll. However, the action's purpose doesn't seem to be to excite or thrill, but rather act as a visual catalyst to force its characters deeper and deeper into this murky world. Though the directing of certain action set pieces, such as the convoy scene, is masterful, I get that the point of this movie is to put a harsh light on the US government, the cartel, and the people involved in people smuggling. However, don't bill this as a summer blockbuster full of action and excitement. What the movie lacks in legitimate excitement, it makes up for in brutal and harsh honesty, which is a breath of fresh air, or should that be dirty air, as it has picked a difficult subject matter and runs with it. It doesn't pick and choose what's appropriate to depict and what's going too far. I also appreciate that this movie doesn't seem to have a political agenda or motive. Though the US government and their tinkering and manipulating of world politics is presented as negative and corrupt, it really is the cartels and the uncaring, unflinching and amoral people that work for it, and their lack of respect or care for their own people, that are presented as the real villains of this movie, and rightfully so. Though I do wonder if this movie plays into the paranoia and scaremongering that seizes America with regards to its social issues. The ominous score throughout never lets up, and adds the oppressive feeling of danger, dread, and death that relentlessly suffocates this movie from start to finish. The movie uses dramatic irony well, as at times the audience is more knowledgeable and clued in than the characters, who like to think they are cool, calm, and in control, which helps heighten the already at boiling point tension. The most disappointing aspect of this movie is that near the finale, you truly believe that it's seeing through on its bold decisions and is going against type for a Hollywood movie, just so in the final third it can back out and play it safe, regardless of how incredibly unrealistic these decisions may be in the real world. I know the final scene of the movie is effortlessly cool, it feels worthless as the drama has already been undermined. Though thought-provoking and exciting at times, and solid performances from Hollywood veterans and young talent can be seen throughout, the movie is too relentlessly bleak and at times not an enjoyable watch. Add to the fact that the movie flakes out with regards to some of its bolder options, and seemingly major plot threads introduced early on are dropped as quickly as a bad batch of chilaquiles and are not referenced as having any great importance for the overall plot, just makes the third act heavily convoluted and unnecessary. I therefore give Sicario 2 Soldado 3 out of 5 rookie reels. That was our review. Tell us what you think in the comments below, and make sure to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And solid performances from the movie is too the movie as quickly as a bad batch of chilaquiles. Liked what you saw and have an interest for travel and adventure? Check out our other YouTube channel, Roamin Rookies, as we travel across 14 countries in an 11-month whirlwind of fun and excitement. Just click here or the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.